Today's ruling is being closely watched by Michigan experts in law and immigration. While the case was limited to court actions, some tell us they expect the ruling to have broader implications. News 8's Josh Sanchez has more on the Supreme Court case and what's next.
While today's ruling was focused on the lower court's ability to issue blocks or universal injunctions, it also started the countdown clock before the Trump administration is able to move ahead with its executive order on birthright citizenship in some parts of the country.
The one thing we do get from today's decision is the executive power, that is Donald Trump, has gotten stronger and the courts have gotten weaker.
Jeffrey Schwartz is a professor emeritus from Cooley Law School and says the case was an opportunity for the Supreme Court to address the growing shadow docket, or the docket on matters like issuing relief from universal injunctions by lower courts. That caseload has been growing as lower courts issue more blocks on executive orders in the argument that these actions should be left up to Congress if constitutional. Friday's ruling means the nationwide block on the order now only applies to 22 states, expected mothers, and organizations that sued.
The bottom line is that individual plaintiffs will have to file lawsuits, which means there are going to be a tremendous number of lawsuits that are going to be filed by people who believe they are citizens for whom immigration and naturalization have indicated, no, you're not. Under the guidelines that will be set forth by Trump.
Schwartz says plaintiffs challenging executive orders might go the route of a class action lawsuit to get around the universal injunction limit, something already being tried by the ACLU in New Hampshire. One of the cases that sparked the nationwide block involved 17 state attorney generals, including Michigan's Dana Nessel. She blasted the ruling in a statement this morning. The idea that our rights now depend on where we live is unconscionable. The Constitution is not a regional document, and it should never be subject to the whims of any political party or administration. A baby born in Ohio or Indiana should be entitled to the same birthright citizenship as a baby born in Michigan or Illinois. Republican Representative Bill Huizenga called the ruling a victory for the system of government, posting online, "This decision delivers a clear knockout to the dramatic overuse of national injunction by some district court judges." With the Supreme Court ruling, the Trump administration will have 30 days before it can put the birthright citizenship restrictions in order.
We're going to see a lot of action in the next 30 days.
Michigan State University law professor David Thronson says he anticipates groups rushing to file lawsuits in that time, but does not believe a conservative Supreme Court would rule the order constitutional. While the scope of the lower courts is changing, Thronson anticipates an explosion of legal action.
Trump's executive orders, immigration related and otherwise, but we're going to see a lot more because this decision says that, a single order against the federal government saying the way you are acting is illegal, stop, is binding only on the parties to the case.
A significant part of today's ruling was that the Supreme Court did not say whether or not the executive order is constitutional. Now that question is still being played out in the courts. In Kalamazoo, Josh Sanchez, News 8.